And last thing for me, earlier this week, report from Erohane at ESPN that Nick Diaz is back in shape, did a 14-week sort of camp and is looking to return. His manager says he definitely wants to fight again. Have you heard or spoken to Nick Diaz or anyone in his team?
Listen, the Nick Diaz thing, first of all, we would have never released that. You know, we'll see how this thing plays out. I don't have any expectations whatsoever. See what happens.
For now, he's saying that, and you're just having to see how he commits to it, I guess.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Dana, so there's been no direct discussions between you and Nick Diaz's party?
Yeah, there's been talking, but there's been talking for years.
You go back to what works, but also you gotta understand that he's gotten a lot better since the last fight. So you also gotta incorporate new things. I mean, that's the way the game is. Because honestly, if you take time off from the sport, I mean, people evolve so fast and they get so much better that it'll leave you behind. So yeah, you take a little bit from the last fight. I think you don't dwell on it because that person's gotten way better and they're working on things that you did well against them. So it's just it's I think yeah, do a lot more different things. Maybe change it up. Other things you were doing, like for a takedown, maybe a different setup to get it there, or maybe this time I finish him with a rear naked instead of just laying top of him. Everyone thinks I did so.
Brock Lesnar, of course, his WWE contract coming to an end. What do you think the odds are he comes back to competitive mixed martial arts for somebody? It would almost certainly have to be UFC. But what are your thoughts on him coming back to MMA? Do you think he's going to do it?
He's not going to come back.
You sound sure of it.
Yeah, let's be honest. His last comeback was the debacle, right?
Yeah.
So that's number one. Number two, he still got to deal with the fallout of that. Still got to deal with the commission.
True.
Nevada, so I just do not see it happen. Then on top of that, he's 43 or 44 years old, right? His recovery will be definitely down. So I just do not see him come back to UFC. It's just, to me, not realistic. And I don't even understand why we're talking about it.
You know what's funny? It's really true. And I get asked that too. The fan interest. I'm doing a thing today. We're talking about Nick Diaz perhaps coming back to the UFC and all these things. Fan interest is huge for certain people. You have how many Conor McGregor stories out there? Well, I mean, even if he doesn't come back and he doesn't fight, fans want to know and want to talk about these things forever and ever. I think Brock is totally in that category. Hasn't been relevant in years to MMA, but as soon as it moves, fans want to hear about it.
I have to say one thing. I predicted wrong on him coming back the last time, 2016 versus Mark Hunt. So I predicted that wrong. So that's the only thing I can get. I predicted that wrong, and he actually but look what happened. They kind of circumvented the USADA testing pool, and it still was a debacle. So I just don't think it's realistic for him to come back to UFC. For him to go to Bellator, I see that more. I see that happening a little bit rapidly, but not to UFC.
Yeah, the thing is, the guy wants to keep fighting. He wants all these fights back to back. It's no disrespect to his opponent. He's either going to win or lose. That has nothing to do with us. That's up to them. But to do that, for him to really fight 2 fights in a row, you have to book him.
And last thing for me.
And for a guy like him, I would never do that for somebody else. I'd be like, relax. Let's see if you get through this fight. But what I've seen from him, I'm willing to do that with him. It's fascinating. Never really had anybody that's doing anything like he is right now. So I could see why you would say, don't you think this is disrespectful, booking a fight for him when he's got a fight? But that's how you have to do it. It's interesting. I like it, and I've never had a guy like this. So it's fun. I'll play this game with him. I after what I saw in his first 2 fights, fought real guys, man. He didn't fight chumps. This isn't a guy that's blew through a couple of setup fights. He beat real people, man. And I'm going to see how it plays out.
I don't give a